It's a very important quality that we must covet, not to judge, but to have discernment. See, in Philippians in chapter 1 and verse 9, Philippians 1 and verse 9, Paul says, I have a prayer for you, Philippians. You're a wonderful bunch of people. I want to tell you something. Do you know that the Apostle Paul never took any money from the Corinthians? Even when they gave him, he said, no, I won't take any money from you. In Ephesus is a very good church. He was there for 3 years. At the end of 3 years, he says, I did not take a single pie from you, cent from you. I took care of myself. I didn't receive any clothes from you. I didn't receive anything. We provided for, not only for my needs, he said, for Timothy and others who were with me, took care of ourselves. But from the Philippians, when they sent him money, he took it. He was not dependent on them. Paul was not dependent on any man. He earned his own living. But occasionally when people gave him a gift, like people would give Jesus a gift, he would receive it. You read that in Philippians 4, when you sent a gift to me again and again, I received it. And even when I received it, he says, I was not thinking what I need. I was thinking that God will bless you because you gave something to his servant. So I received it so that you will prosper. Even there, his motive was that they would be blessed, that he would not insult the Philippians. But from the Corinthians, he somehow hesitated. I can't take from these people. A true servant of God like that is like that. He's got discernment. But to the Philippians, this wonderful church, he says, there's something I pray for you, Philippians 1:9. You must love people, sure, but you must abound in discernment. Don't be fooled by all the people. Don't let your love be so blind that you get fooled by everybody. No. You must have discernment. You don't judge people. That's why I'm trying to give them a balance here. You don't judge people, but you discern. And it's very important to know the difference between discerning and judging. If you don't discern, you'll be like a zombie. You know what a zombie is? A man whose brain has been taken out. He just wanders around the earth like a robot and does not think. We're not supposed to be mindless zombies who don't even think. We must think. God has given us a mind to think. We must not be fooled. Jesus said, be harmless as doves. Doves never harm anyone. They're not like eagles. But he said, be wise as what? Serpents, snakes. Genesis 3 says the serpent was the wisest of all of God's creation, wiser than everything God created, and Jesus took that example. You know, when the devil wanted to come in the Garden of Eden, he didn't take the lion, he didn't choose the lion. The lion only scares people. He would have run away. He chose a serpent. Beautiful. Serpent is so beautiful and clever. And Jesus used that example and said, be as wise as a serpent, you believers. But don't harm like serpents. No. Be harmless like a dove and be wise as serpents. Be discerning. That means don't go through this world like a zombie, not knowing what's happening. Everybody deceives you. No. I try my best to not let people deceive me about their spirituality. In my younger days, I have been fooled, I must say. And I allowed, but God does something to protect the church. Some of these military institutions, military camps and all, there's a check post. And they have a bar that goes up like this. They check your identity. Okay, they lift the bar, you can go. So I think of myself as an elder sometimes like that. People come to the church and I try to discern them, and sometimes they've fooled me and I've lifted the bar and let them go. But they don't realize that there's another checkpost over there where the Holy Spirit is. And he does not lift the checkpost, he sends them back. And they come right out back through me out of the church. Thank God I am not the ultimate protector of the church. Jesus Christ is. So I always tell people, even if you fool me, remember there's another checkpost coming up. You won't get past that one. And I've seen that happen. How God finally exposes them and drives them out of the church. I've actually seen it happen. Judas Iscariot could fool those other 11 disciples for 3.5 years, but finally he got exposed. So you may fool some people for some of the time, but not all the time. You can't fool people all the time. You can't fool God, and God will preserve His church. But we must grow in discernment. In the beginning, we don't have. I must say, in the early days, I did not have much discernment, but I've sought to grow in discernment, and I'm not perfect. But I want to encourage all of you to grow in discernment. Don't be fooled by anybody who comes to you and comes with a story and tells you something. We must be wise in everything. So, but we don't judge. We don't condemn a person. We don't pass a judgment that this is like that he's like that. And I'll tell you the reason why. 1 Corinthians chapter 4. It says here, verse 5. Here's another verse about judgment. Don't go on passing judgment before the time. Wait until the Lord comes. Has He come yet? The Lord has not come. Can you please wait? You who are itching to pass judgment on somebody, all of you who are itching to give an opinion about your opinion, your very important opinion about somebody, just hang on. God says, I'll give you time to give your opinion. Just wait till I come, Jesus says. After that, you can give all your opinions. Because then your opinion may change. And I'll tell you why. Because when the Lord comes, He's going to reveal the motive, verse 5, with which this man did something which you thought was evil. And it was not evil. I heard a story of a believer in some church was seen going into a bar, a drinking saloon. Sure enough, some believer saw that and circulated the news. It was discovered later that he had gone into that bar with a number of tracts to witness to people there and to give out the tracts, and that's all he did. He didn't touch a bit of alcohol. He just witnessed to people and got thrown out, and he came out. But think of those people who judged him, not knowing the full story. You see a believer walking into a bar, you say, I thought he was a spiritual man. There's so much like this, my brothers and sisters. What you see, you cannot believe. And I believe that's one reason why God has allowed the sun to rise in the east and go to the west. To tell you every day, you cannot believe your eyes. And if you had not studied geography, like human beings, thousands of years, they really believe that the sun goes around the earth, and it goes like that. I remember hearing that story of those two little boys in the garden, and the older boy, 12 years old, told his 7-year-old younger brother, hey, the sun has moved. It was there in the east, and now it's here in the west. And the 7-year-old said, no, the sun hasn't moved. It's the earth that's rotating on its axis. And under our feet, the earth is moving. And the older boy said, I believe what I see. And I saw the sun moving. I believe what I feel, and I don't feel the earth moving under my feet. And the little boy said, I believe Daddy. Who was right? That's what I say when so many people say things. I say, I believe my heavenly Daddy. You can believe whatever you see. Your eyes see the earth rotating under our feet. You know at what speed the earth rotates? At the equator, it is 1,000 miles an hour. 1,000 miles an hour, the earth is rotating under our feet. You feel it? You say, I felt nothing. Don't believe your feelings. It's happening. It's been happening every day since you were born. But you didn't feel it even for 1 second. And the sun, you see it moving. It's not moving at all. Don't trust your senses. It says about Jesus, he would not judge by what his eyes saw, his ears heard, because he would say, well, there may be a good motive with which that person did it. I don't know the motive. We have a tremendous temptation. The more spiritual you are, the less you want to give your opinion to people.